Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Biz Coach C, and I want to welcome you to today's training, which is all about your fast and fun guide to launching a business. So this is a series, and this series is bi-weekly. So every other week I'm coming on, and if you watch these in sequential order, they are actually telling you, I'm actually going to be teaching you how to start a business with different areas where you're going to place your focus. So that's what these sessions are all about. You can go back and watch some of the replays that'll be available. And then, of course, if you follow me on YouTube, then these full training videos are there for you to go back and watch in sequential order to help you start your business. So today, with Biz Coach C, I'm a small business coach based in North Carolina. So startups are my niche. I'm a startup coach. So if you're in the first 0 to 3 years of business, if you haven't started yet, or if you just started a small business, then you want to be following me. You want to be a part of my community because I'm teaching you all the jewels and gems that you'll need to build a successful business that's going to be profitable and sustainable for a long period of time. So when you're rocking with me, that's exactly what you get 100%. So today's session is all about learning how to start a business on a shoestring budget, right? We want to be able to start businesses without breaking the bank, and that's where the focus is. So budget on the shoestring, building a business without breaking the bank is what we're talking about today. And anytime if you have questions, you can pop them in the comments, and I'm happy to try to answer them live here in real time. If you're joining me in the Google Meet room, welcome, congratulations. You can drop your, I appreciate having you here, but you can drop your questions in the comments or in the Q&A section. I'll be happy to address those too. And if you comment on Facebook, I'm also following there. I can answer in real time. Even if you're doing replays, I still go back and rewatch and try to answer a lot of those questions that people have. All right. But there are three main things that I want to talk to you guys about today as far as budgeting on a shoestring, starting your business that way so you're not spending a ton of money, right? There are going to be three main areas that we look at today. That first one is going to be determining your startup budget essentials and what you will actually need, what the foundation is going to look like for you as you start a business, what that looks like financially. Second thing I'm going to highlight today is the use of free and low cost platforms. Free is something I'm going to talk about some today, but we're also going to highlight low cost, because one thing that I want you to understand is that everything is not going to be free to you. And if you are passionate enough about something and you want to see it, then you are going to be willing to invest, not because you're worried about spending your money with other people or wasting your money, but it's actually identifying and knowing what you need so you can invest wisely in the things that are going to help you reach the goals that you're striving to achieve. That's the second thing. Last thing is going to be bootstrapping your way to growth. So if you follow me already, you've probably heard me talk about bootstrapping before, which is basically you using your own funds to fund the business. But in this sense today, we're going to be talking about the business funding itself when we say bootstrapping. So bootstrapping your way to growth. So the first thing to highlight is what I told you we're going to start with. That's going to be determining your startup budget essentials. So here's the fact. The fact is that 69% of small businesses are starting with less than $10,000 in startup capital. And if you're thinking about starting a business, if you've ever started one before, then you know that probably this is true. You probably fall somewhere in this 69%. Those of you who don't, consider yourselves blessed and lucky, because the majority of small business owners, new entrepreneurs, are not starting with $10,000 straight out of the gate. And they're doing fundraising activities to figure out where this startup capital is going to come from. And so in order to know what you are going to be spending, you have to know what you need. So in order to know what you need, I want you to consider this. Do a budget plan for yourself. That is one of the most important things that you can do. And to help you with that, y'all know I love giving you free resources. So I have a free budget planning template that you can download. And it's actually a Google sheet, but it will help you plan out all of these things. And I'm going to give you a quick look at what that Google sheet looks like, because I think it is going to be really awesome for you to take advantage of that. And what I call it is my startup budget template, right? And here it is. So it's basically going to be you setting a goal for yourself, for the business, to say, hey, this is how much my budgeting goal is. So we're looking at the funding itself over here on the left. Where's the funding going to come from? Do you have investors, which can be owners or venture capitalists or angel investors, or they could be mentors, they could be family members that believe in your business. But anybody who's going to be contributing financially to your business, you're going to list them here. And then we're going to think about things like loans. Are we going to get loans? You can also add additional funding here, like grants. What sort of things are going to be funding your startup business account? And list all of those things here. So by the time you list money that's coming from investors, and notice now we're not talking about revenue and things like that just yet, because you're not in operation. So we're talking about things that you can get before you dive deep into operations that are going to help you support your business. So list your investors here, yourself, or people that are going to be investing money in the business, any loans that you plan to take out to help financially support the business. And then you can add additional funding like grants and things like that. So by the time you get to the bottom of that, then you've got a good idea of, okay, here's what I can get in funding, right? And then over here on the right, we've got a startup budget goal. So let's say we're budgeting for $50,000, right? Budgeting for a complete $50,000. We're going to estimate our startup expenses. We can even throw in an estimate for losses, and a total estimated budget is what we're going to come up with. And based on those startup expenses and our losses, then we're going to be coming up with what we are either going to be over or under budget with. Okay. We can list all of our startup expenses right underneath there. So think about all of the things that you'll need to start your business up. Well, you need licenses, permits. You're probably going to have to pay for a logo design. If you don't have somebody helping you with that, designing your website, paying for your domain, paying for software. Are you going to have a brick and mortar and need some kind of security installation? Are you going to need a building deposit for where you're going? What about job listing fees if you're going to be hiring people? And you can add other expenses here. If you are following me on YouTube, there's a video that I have on there that lists the top 10 business expenses. You're going to definitely want to list those there and estimate a price point for each one of them for your business. And then at the bottom, consider monthly overhead expenses if you are going to be in a building. So think about rent, utilities, insurance, labor, administration, capital, and there's a few other places for you to list that. But this is available to you because by the time you calculate your monthly overhead costs, estimated months at a loss, your total estimated losses, that overhead, and you get a percentage there of what that overhead padding is going to be, then you get total estimated losses, and then you'll get a total estimated budget for what you're dealing with. That is the number that we've put here at the top for total estimated. So once you fill that information out, a lot of these things are going to pre-populate for you. It's just a matter of going in and plugging in the numbers that you think you're going to need. So that's the first place I want you to start when you're thinking about building out a business budget for yourself. So now, here's the thing about that, right? I told you 69% of us out here starting businesses don't have access to capital like that. So to help determine your startup budget essentials, here's something that I want you to consider. And let me kind of talk you through this one because this is super important. So I want you to completely hear me out. All right. I want you to do this. When you're planning out your startup essentials, what you're going to do is what I call the rule of 10, right? It's called the rule of 10. Spend 10% of your expected revenue on startup costs. So the rule of 10 is going to suggest that any business that launches should aim to spend only 10% of your expected revenue on startup costs. So try to calculate for that. This is going to help you stay lean. It's going to help you stay focused, and it's going to help you stay, let's be fiscally responsible. This is going to help you be financially responsible while you're testing your business idea. So here's a breakdown of how the rule of 10 works. The first thing you've got to do is define your expected revenue. So start by estimating how much you anticipate generating in your first year of business. Be super realistic with this, but still be ambitious. So let's say, for example, you expect to generate $50,000 in revenue in your first year. So the first thing you do, define your expected revenue. Number two, calculate 10% of your expected revenue. So multiply that $50,000 by 0.10. And that's how you're going to find the maximum amount that you should spend on your startup costs. So if you plan on making $50,000 a year, that means you've got a $5,000 budget for your startup costs. All right, stay with me. Third thing, prioritize those startup costs, because not everything is important, and not everything is as important as the next thing. So allocate that 10% budget across different business essential needs, but focus on the bare essentials to get started with generating that revenue. So common startup costs for, let me give you categories. That'll give you like the common startup costs. Got 4 categories for you. The first one is going to be product and service development. And you're going to want to put 30 to 40% of that startup, of that $5,000 there. So we're looking at now, we've broken it down from I want to make $50,000 a year to I'm going to spend $5,000 on my startup costs because I'm only going to use 10% of that money. That's my goal. So now we're going to take that $5,000 and we're going to break it down into 4 major categories to say, here's where I'm spending wisely. So the first one is product and service development, which is you doing any type of inventory, tools, prototypes, creation, research and development. 30 to 40% of that $5,000 is going to go there. 20 to 30% is going to go into your marketing and branding. And if you're watching this on Facebook and you're commenting questions, I may not see them till later, but still, please do it anyway, because sometimes Facebook doesn't show all of them to me while I'm watching. So I'm going to try my best to follow along. And let me go back to this other screen and just double check real quick, make sure I hadn't missed y'all. And if you are watching live, drop a hand in the comments. Let me know you're here. All right. So back to where we were. You're going to spend 20 to 30% of that marketing and branding budget out of that $5,000, which means that's for website, logo, that's for printed materials like business cards, flyers. And this is also for dedicated social media ads. Remember, I told you low cost, not absolutely free all the time. So we're working on a shoestring budget. Shoestring budget doesn't mean that we're looking for everything free. It only means that we're looking for low cost or free to help save us as much as we possibly can so that it can be reinvested back into the business when we get those earnings, right? So logo, business cards, website, social media ads, consistent social media ads will give you the reach that you never thought you could get to help you acquire clients that are not in your usual circle, because it's going to expand your reach by showing you to different audiences that you don't usually tap into. Social media ads are worth the investment when you learn, after you learn how to speak to your target audience and which audience you should be investing most of that social media ad spend in. All right. If you didn't catch that, I want you to go back and rewatch it, rewind it and replay it, because that's super important. All right. So let's say now that means we've got $2,000 that we're going to spend on materials and inventory for the product and service development. That's out of $5,000. Another $1,500 we're going to spend on marketing and branding. All right. And then we're going to spend 20% on operations. So that's budgeting about another $1,000 there out of that $5,000 that we're taking for startup costs out of the $50,000. So when we talk operations, we're talking about things like licenses, software, workspace and equipment, business registrations, co-working space, all of these types of things. The last of the 4 major areas where I want you to invest your money is in miscellaneous items. So that's your smallest amount, because we don't play around with miscellaneous because we can waste money there if we're not careful, because sometimes what we feel like we absolutely need is what we want and we don't actually need. So miscellaneous, that's emergency funds, that's small tools, that's unforeseen costs. If you're not sure what emergencies are in your business, you need a business coach either way, but you definitely need to be talking to me about What should I actually consider consider an emergency in my business when something happens? And we can discuss that and break that down together. All right. Take about $500 for these unexpected needs. That's what we're working on there, right? And we're trying to keep that in between there. All right. So let me go back and rehash a little bit because we're talking about the rule of 10. So the first thing you did was define your expected revenue. Second thing was calculate 10% of that. And the third thing was to prioritize those startup costs, and that's where we landed. The fourth thing I want you to do there is minimize your fixed costs. So keep those costs as low as possible when you're starting. So if you can rent a shared office space or work from home out of a home office, use free or low cost software, which we're going to talk about a little bit later. Outsource tasks temporarily instead of hiring full-time employees. When you're just starting, it's expensive to take care of payroll and payroll taxes. So one of the things that you can do to help benefit yourself and your business the most is outsource a lot of the things that are going to take up your time. So you can have somebody else working in the business instead of on the business. Great platforms to do that on are platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, where you have freelancers that are available at very low costs. You can get a freelancer to build your website at a very low price point. You can get somebody to help you with your building out your content once you've got your messaging and everything together. You can outsource somebody to help you get your messaging together, you know? So it's important to do those things, but they're very possible for you to do. But minimize fixed costs. Fifth thing I want you to do there is just scale gradually, right? It's a journey. So once you start generating revenue in the business, once you start making those sales, getting that money in, reinvest some of those profits into growing your business in things like marketing, inventory, and outsourcing, because the most you can take out of your hands, all of those little minute activities that make your day-to-day operations tick, that are the things that help you generate dollars, you want to outsource that and give it to somebody so you can work on the business and continue to have fresh vision and ideas and make sure that your money is actually flowing and you're more focused on the profit margin and the business building and all of those amazing things that are going on behind the scene that you don't usually see, right? That's where we need to be. So the rule of 10 in action looks just like that. We gave a $50,000 example in the beginning. Let's look at a $20,000 example. So in a year, you want to make $20,000. That means you're going to budget $2,000 for your startup costs. So take $2,000 and say, okay, let me break that down. For my products and materials, I get to spend $800 this year. For my marketing, I get to spend $600 for a website. Hey, Erica, yes, darling, you'll be able to rewatch either on Facebook or you can watch the video on my YouTube channel. You'll be able to spend $600 on marketing for websites, social media ads. You'll be able to spend $400 for operations, $200 for contingencies and miscellaneous things. So that's what that looks like. So rule of 10 gives you a disciplined approach and ensures that you launch with minimal financial risk here, but while still investing in the things that matter most to your business. So it's a practical way to stay lean and to also kind of test your ideas. And I love the rule of 10 for this reason. So if you need help mapping out what specific startup cost this is for your business, then you definitely need to be booking with me so I can help you do that, right? Okay, so one of the other facts that I shared with you, so I shared the fact with you, but you know, it's Biz Coach C, so I'm always going to give you a resource to take home. I will always give you a resource. Thank you, DNR. Yeah, I'm glad this is super helpful. Absolutely. And thank you for tuning in. Yeah, I'm here for all the examples, like seriously, because it's difficult as a new entrepreneur starting out and not knowing what this looks like and what it sounds like and what it feels like. And that's what I want to make sure that I bring out to new entrepreneurs, for everybody that's out here. So I've given you the fact 69% of us that are out here starting businesses are not starting with $10,000. So I've just told you how to use the rule of 10 to get to that first $10,000 in your business. And then the free resource that I'm giving you to help you plan and do this is my budget planning template. So if you want a free copy of the budget planning template, just put, I want the budget template, or I need the budget template in the comments so I can get that to you, because I'd be more than happy to. All right. So now we've covered the first topic. The second topic today was the use of free and low cost platforms. And remember, like I told you, now everything that you're going to be using in your business, do not look for everything to be free. Here's the thing, low cost is just as important as free when you're working in your business, because you're not going to always be able to find great quality at a no cost price. You won't find great quality for free all the time. It's not going to happen like that. So here's what is and can happen. You have to be willing and able to invest. So don't be afraid to invest. Just make sure you're investing wisely in the things that you need. What type of resources can you use that are free or low cost in your business? You're going to need a website. Wix and Canva, Wix and Squarespace and some other platforms will offer free and low cost domains. Now, you're still going to pay for web hosting, because you've got to find, I heard somebody on Instagram say just yesterday, Divi, who's an awesome creator that I watch on Instagram, she described it like this. You've got to pay for your domain, and then you have to pay for hosting. Well, a domain is a one-time thing for everybody. No two people can share the same domain. So you have to pay for that. Domains are typically anywhere from $12 to $20 a year. More prominent domains, which means more recognizable names, are going to be more costly because somebody else might already have it. But other than that, outside of domains, then you're going to need to be hosted. So when we're talking about hosting, we're talking about a platform that is going to house your information, your data, that's going to be shared online. And that's what you're paying for when you're paying for a website. So you have to invest in those things, guys. But look for free trials, because you need opportunities to test things out. You need opportunities to test drive before you know that some of these things are going to work for your business. Some payment platforms that you can use that have really low merchant fees: PayPal, Stripe is a really good one. Stripe will even allow you to set up ACH withdrawals for people, and concurrent ACH withdrawals. So you can set those up for, a certain price point, and then you can set somebody up on installments using that. If you need to collect emails to help you with your lead generation process, MailChimp has a free version that will allow you to collect at least 500 emails and start sending out emails to your audience to keep them engaged in what your business is doing. So there are so many different references and things that you can do out there to help your business. I'm great, Darren. She's like, I'm a newbie entrepreneur, and this is going to help me map out my ideas. And that's the whole point of all of this, right? Of me helping you map out this journey and all of these ideas for you. So those are the websites that I would recommend for you. The secret tip is to also look for free trials. Take advantage of that and be active. Don't procrastinate on it. If you employ a free trial, make sure that you are active in that free trial and you are using it so you know if it works or not. But you can use things in free trials. Google Workspace even has a free trial that you can use to look at how well it's going to manage your emails and what you can connect to, and using professional documents, that sort of thing. So, and use Canva for social media content, for branding graphics. And if you need more content than usual, and content isn't your thing, or it's taking up your time, go to Upwork, go to Fiverr, outsource it to someone who's able to do it faster and be super productive and get good results. Make sure they have great history with conversions and great communications in the content that they're building, and it's going to resonate with your audience when you have the right messaging. The third thing and the final thing that I'm going to give you today is bootstrapping your way to growth. So here's the fact that I'm going to give you first. Don't spend it all, right? Don't spend all of your money. Learn to reinvest your profits for real income growth. And that's what I mean by bootstrapping. Typically, when you hear me talk about bootstrapping, it's me talking about you taking money out of your personal finances and investing it in the business. And that's fine. You can invest your money in the business in the beginning. But the thing is you don't want to bootstrap personally to keep your business going for long periods of time. And that's another session, but I'm happy to talk to anybody about that who's struggling with bootstrapping their business and maybe separating their personal um account from their business account, and you're getting things mixed up and stuff like that. I can give you some real tools to help you identify ways that you can actually kind of break those two worlds apart, and you'll feel a lot more comfortable. You'll feel a lot better after you do that. The resource that I'm going to give you here with bootstrapping your way to growth, I'm going to explain to you why I'm recommending this resource to you. So here's the thing. It's important to reinvest profits, and I want you to try to reinvest at least 30% of your monthly income back into the business, right? We want to take 30% of that revenue that we generated and definitely try to reinvest it back into the business. So here's an example of how I want you to do that. I want you to learn how to generate your initial revenue with pre-orders and with microservices. So that's actually kind of selling before you're ready. Let's talk about what that looks like. And we're talking about just reinvesting money. So when I say generate initial revenue through pre-orders or microservices, this is talking about getting money into your business that can be reinvested before expenses start to be paid out. So generating this initial revenue through pre-orders and microservices is going to be a smart way for you to kind of test your market and test the demand while you're still building your brand. So you're giving yourself a head start. Here's a breakdown of the strategy of both of these approaches. So pre-orders. Pre-orders mean you're going to sell it before you finish the build. Why do pre-orders work? Pre-orders work because they validate the demand for your product before you've actually kind of created it and fully launched it to everybody. It also creates a sense of urgency with a limited time type idea. And you can also offer things like early bird offers. So the last thing that pre-orders do is they help you build cash flow to fund your production, which is one of the most important things ever. So here are the steps to launching a pre-order. You're going to define your offer, which it means you're going to focus on a clear product or service and highlight its features. Then you're going to set a timeline and announce a specific launch date for those deliverables. Create scarcity. You know, there's only 10 available, only 100 available, only 50 available. Next, create a compelling landing page or storefront. Sometimes you call these a squeeze page that help people see the importance and be highly attracted, high resonation, high converting pages and storefronts that show people high quality visuals. You can use mock-ups for that. Use clear and action-oriented copy. So the way it sounds, make it clear, short, and sweet, easy enough for a fifth grader to understand. Pre-order now to save 30%. Sign up now to save 50%. You know, grab this before it's offered to the masses and sold out in just a couple of days. So after we do that, you just add a secure checkout system. That's that Stripe, that PayPal. You got a Shopify site and you're doing products, do that. But the fourth thing you're going to do is market the pre-order, right? So use email campaigns, social media teasers with the content. Try influencer partnerships because they are super, super strong. Paying influencers or partnering with people who are known to be great business partners or that you've connected with online, ask them to share your content, you know, especially if it looks like your audience is aligned and you may be able to help each other, scratch each other's backs. It's okay. Offer early bird discounts and bonuses. Do it like in exclusive content or do something like free shipping. The fifth thing here is just to deliver on the promise. You got to deliver on your guarantee. So maintain that communication with the buyers to build that trust and meet your deadlines to keep your customers happy and informed. So if there's delays or anything like that, then you'll be able to handle it. So now that is the joy of pre-orders, limited offers, and like the sell before you buy concept. Now, what I have done for my community is I created a digital download called Launch Before You're Ready that shows you how to do pre-orders, limited offers, and sneak peeks. And it actually has the content built into it for you to take advantage of. You pretty much take every tool, every tip I give you, and you basically just sketch out your own. It even includes content that you can use on your own page. So you can go to my website and click on this digital download for less than $5. and get this entire setup for you so you can launch before you're ready and do your own pre-orders. Even if you started your business already, you can still use this whenever you're coming out with new products, whenever you get new merchandise you're going to sell, whenever you're going to launch a new service for people to take care of if you're a service-based provider. So you can use this for any business. So I encourage you to go download that. All right. Microservices. What are microservices anyway? Because remember, I told you pre-orders were the first way, but then microservices were the second way that you're going to invest at least 30% of that monthly income back into the business so you can keep growing. So microservices are pretty much the required minimal setup and resources, right? And here's why microservices work. They solve a specific pain point and they make you highly marketable. And they build your credibility as an expert. So you instantly become the SME, the subject matter expert, the SME, or as we call the SME. So here's the thing to offer in microservices to people, right? Identify your zone of genius or your expertise. Focus on your high demand skills that you have. So if you're a graphic designer, if you do social media ads for people, if you create flyers for people, if you've got a salon, if you offer strategy sessions for people, what area is it within your niche where you find your particular zone of expertise? And then look at packaging the service, right? Put it in a package, wrap it in a bow, make it look real nice and pretty, and make it really user-friendly so they can take it and implement it right away. So create a fixed price for it. Don't play with the money. Don't mess with the price. Create a fixed price for it. $50 for a social media audit, $8 for a flyer, $300 per month for social media content creation. Make it very clear. $50 for a 1-hour coaching call. Make it clear. So provide clear deliverables so that the clients know exactly what to expect. So now you've identified what skills, knowledge, resources that you can use of your own to make a product that's going to be in high demand. And then we put a price on it by packaging the services, make it look nice and pretty, wrap it in a bow. All right. Use low-cost platforms to market it. And I've given you a lot of those already. You can I was telling you that you can hire people to outsource your activities. You can also sell on platforms like Upwork and Fiverr. So you can put your offerings there after you create those fixed prices. You can even do that. You can list your services on LinkedIn also. Promote it through your email list, your social media, your personal network, wherever you need to promote it, get to marketing that thing. Fourth thing I want you to do is over deliver on quality. People don't believe in customer service much anymore, but I'm telling you, it's what grabs new business, it's what attracts new business, and customer service is what retains business. So keep your promises and over deliver on the quality. Deliver exceptional results, and quickly encourage repeat business. Be right on it. Ask for repeat business. Ask them to come back. Thank you so much. Please shop with me again. If you enjoyed shopping with me, if you enjoyed signing with me, contracting with me, then refer someone else to me if you had a good experience. Then upsell and cross-sell. That's the next step. So when you deliver in some microservices, offer more things, offer more products that you have, or even offer a subscription plan if you have it, because this builds on value and helps people understand the importance of shopping with you, staying loyal with you as far as a service provider or a product provider for them or whoever they're shopping with. Combine those pre-orders and those microservices. And once you do that, you have a super recipe for success. Offer the microservices to fund that pre-order campaign, set it up so your microservices can actually fund those pre-order campaigns that you want to run, and include exclusive microservices as part of your pre-order perks. So now they can work together. Pre-order now and get a free website audit. Boom, pre-order now and get this. Take advantage of this limited time offer and we'll throw in that. Or we'll get purchase this set and grab this other set for 50% off or 40% off. So pre-orders and microservices work really well together. Leverage that automation. Here's the pro tip that I'm going to give you today. So you can use platforms like ClickFunnels that absolutely does the squeeze pages, the funnel pages, to help you identify that customer journey, help you critique it, perfect it, so that your customers are flowing through the journey to the product So streamline that process, automate your emails, set up those confirmations. Follow up is the most important thing here. Have payment systems that are extremely user friendly, because nobody likes to go online and toggle with stuff that creates a headache. So make sure that you are using these to help get to your goals. And action steps here, I want you to leave with this. Identify at least one budget-friendly tool that you can use to start generating revenue immediately. One of the best ways to do that, like I said, is to take advantage of the launch before you're ready digital download on my website. If you go to services on clsmgmt.com, click on the services tab, click on digital downloads, and you will see the launch before you're ready. And it will walk you through how to start and set up and flow with all of these things. So today has been your fast and fun guide to launching your business, budgeting on a shoestring, where the three main focuses for today have been to, as we wrap up, determine your startup budget essentials, use free and low cost platforms, bootstrap your way to growth. So if you do not have a business coach, I encourage you to start working with me, not yesterday, but today. Well, definitely yesterday. I wish you would have, because the investment is all on your success. So everything that I can help with contributes to your success as a small business owner, whether you're not started yet or just starting. That's what Biz Coach C is here for. So you can follow me online on any social media platform at CLSMGMT, or visit my website, clsmgmt.com, for free training, digital downloads, services, resources, even business funding. And so a full listing of everything that I provide is there. You can work with me one-on-one, or you can join one of my startup incubators that I absolutely love. There are 90-day incubator programs for minority women, for any business owner who's entering any industry, called Hustle and Grow. 6 Secrets is for the minority women. If you are a purpose chaser, like I like to call them, people with big vision, and you want to start nonprofit organizations to give back, then there's a third group for people who want to start nonprofits. But they are always some of the wisest investments, because not only do you get the biweekly coaching calls with me and surrounded by a group of like-minded people who are also striving for success, but we also work one-on-one to build your business. And in 90 days, that is exactly what we do. We build a highly profitable, successful, and sustainable business or nonprofit for you when you're into my group coaching programs. So you can also find those on my website. Just click on group coaching in the top bar, in the toolbar, and it will take you there so you can visit all 3. And you can also take a quiz to see which test or which program is going to be right for you. So thank you for tuning in. And if there's any questions, I'm happy to answer. But I hope that we can link up, and appreciate you watching today's training. Keep following Biz Coach C, and let's grow these businesses and make them amazing, because I'm praying over you and I'm praying for your businesses too. You guys take care.